Hello, I am Pam, and this is my channel, Made by Pam. So, today is Friday, August 12th, 2022. I believe it's already the 12th of August. Oh my goodness. What can I say? Kids go back to school next week. Yay. Alright, so let's just get that one question out of the way. A little prompt from Jen, and today in Jen's sewing room. She's the brainchild of this whole Friday sews thing. I remember when she started, and she was doing it, and then a couple months after she started, she invited the fellow YouTubers to join in and do the hashtag. And I waited a couple more months, and I'm like, you know what? I think I will. So, yeah. But the prompt is this week is that school's getting back in session. So did we take any sewing classes? Well, the only real sewing class I took was in school, where they make you do home ec. I think it was 9th grade, because I also did a wood class, wood shop, where we were making something, and I made an end table, a magazine rack type end table, and I still have it. Yeah, that thing is over 30 years old. Do you believe that? Crazy. But yeah. So, well, and I still use it. But so did we do any sewing classes? Well, I did have home ec, and so I did have a sewing class, and I did make a pillowcase during that sewing class, and I did make a little purse. Other than that, I didn't make much else. So it just kind of gave you the basics. I think most of my, when I first started sewing, I do a little bit by hand when I was younger than that. So I'd also, I think before I even had home ec, I think I'd already made my first quilt. So, and it's one that I still have, that I made it when I was 14, 15 years old. And so I still have it, and in the winter time I do put it on my bed, because it is a little bit heavier, because it's a big blanket, and it's made out of that upholstery type fabrics, the squares. Yeah, most of it I hand stitched together with the little embroidery floss type stuff, which I didn't separate the pieces. I just did it as a big thick strand, and kind of sewed those pieces together. And then I was talking to well, she's a neighbor, but she was a friend. She had kids that were a little bit younger than me, so I babysat a lot for her. And I remember talking to her, and she's like, you know what, you can use my sewing machine. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, bring your project over and go ahead and sew some of it up. It'll be a lot quicker. And so I did, and then while I was sewing it up, I was like, well, should I sew these other pieces with the sewing machine that I've already hand stitched? She's like, it's up to you. You decide what you want to do. Well, I decided that I wasn't going to stitch up with the sewing machine what I had already hand stitched. Which, now looking back on it, I probably should have. Because I have had to make repairs in some of the parts of that blanket. Alright. And then garment sewing and stuff, that really took effect when I just had my third child. So I started staying home more. My mom was living with me at the time, and I was talking to her, and I'm like, you know what, I would really like to start sewing clothing, because I thought about it. I'm like, I would like to do that, but man, those patterns intimidate me. I was like, I don't even know where to start and which way to go. And she's like, you get a pattern and I will walk you through it. I'm like, really? And she's like, yes, it's not that hard. And so we sat down with the pattern and she walked me through it and explained things, and I just took off from there, and I have been sewing since. So I really didn't get into garment sewing until I was in my 30s, because let's see, my son is 12 and I'm 44. So yeah, I was in my 30s. Now I did a lot of like quilt making and blankets and stuff before that time, but actual garment sewing and sewing things that was going to be worn by us was, you know, after I had my 12-year-old. So yeah, that's kind of where that came from. Alright, so what have I been sewing this week? Well, I finished the denim wall pockets, and that I did a video on, and I will have that linked at the end of this. I will have it in the description box. How's that? And then I made a pants assist disability pants assist type thing. So basically taking some denim and making some straps that had some ends on it. So kind of like these ends here, but the ones I used on his were like, had the little fatter pieces, like the little, and it was white. It was like what they call like a suspender passy clip type thing. And so it just opens. Now the one I used, it had like little white like Teflon plastic stuff in there. So this one's probably better than the white one. The problem is though with this one is how skinny it is. And I was afraid that he was going to have a hard time, you know, because there's not any way to push it on the side. It's just only on the front. And it's not that hard to push, but if you have arthritis, it might be a little difficult. So I used the other one, and I told my friend, I'm like, if the clip isn't quite right, and if I need to get a different clip, I can do that. Just let me know. She's like, okay, well, I'll have him give it a try, and we'll see how it works, and if he likes it. If not, we'll have you redo it. I'm like, okay. But yeah, she picked that up this morning. But there's also a video about that too. Alright, so what else have I been up to? Not a whole lot. Like, I haven't really gotten back into touching my shirts that I'm making, because I was doing that. And then I decided that I was also going to be working on the bag. So we have the Koda crossbody bag that me and Sherry from Granny Sewing Room, we are doing a collaboration, and we're making this bag. Now, she'd already made one back like 7 months ago, and she saw one of my videos where I had some pink like leathery type fabric. So let me grab a scrap here. So I had this fabric, and the bag I made turned out okay. So I already have the bag made because it is a quick sew. It's really not that difficult. And the only thing I did not like about it, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, because we're going to do our final reveals in a couple weeks. So we're doing our reveals on August 20. Yeah, August 28th, I think. Maybe I better look on my note card. Well, August 27th, we are going to do our reveal of that bag. And yeah, so I'll go into more details about all that at a later time. So you'll just have to wait. But I did make one out of this. It was okay, but I didn't like the way that the bottom corners were put together. But looking up, you know, because I have them sitting right there, I realized, you know what? This bag is kind of fun to make. So I have made a couple of them. One of them I did well, I misplaced the pieces. So it's a little bit backwards from what I was going to. But that's okay. So I'll go into more of that later. But let's talk about the shirt, okay? Jeez, I'm getting off track here. So, my shirt here, alright? I have pinned it up. I've already sewn up this piece. Well, no, I haven't sewn this piece up yet. I have just pinned it. And, you know, I am a little bit put off, okay? So I pinned the piece over here, so when I flip this, it, you know, goes where it needs to and lines up just fine with that neckline and the thing. And then over here I have my little placket turned over, and then I get over and pin it together, and the collar is that much too long. Like, don't tell me I did that wrong, because those instructions, I'm going to have to relook. I need to actually grab my other shirt that I made out of the same pattern. So I used the Simplicity 3789. I'm pretty sure, because that's what I'm seeing on my thing here. So let me just double check. Yeah, 3789 is a Simplicity pattern. And I have made it one time before. And so I decided, well, heck, I'm just going to take and cut out three shirts and sew them at the same time. And I was working on them, and I have like part of it done. Like, I have the sleeves put on, and I started putting on the collar and realized that it's just not quite where it needs to be. And I'm just like, that's weird. And so I measured it against all the other collars on the shirts, and they're where they need to be. But I'm just like, what the heck? I don't know. But I already have that hemmed, and then I have this all pinned on the bottom. So I have that, and I know I dropped something on the floor. Alright. And then I have this other one here. Okay. So it's my flowery shirt. And I am excited to get it done. So I don't have this all like sewn up and like put where it needs to be. But if I put it to where it needs to be, let me move you down so you can see what I'm talking about. So if I put it to where it needs to be and do that little like clip, and like it's going to sew it up and clip it, it's going to be right where it needs to be on this side. And then over on this side, so let me turn that where it needs to be here and show you. Okay, so I have that placed where it needs to be, and I have this all lined up, and it goes to right where it needs to be. So I'm a little bit discouraged with this one because I really like it, and the collar's just not turning out. So I'm trying to figure out something different. The thing is, I realize when I wear the shirt, I don't like it going all the way up. I don't like to button it all the way up because I don't like things up against my neck, because it feels like I'm choking and it's riding up, and I just like, I can't stand that. I'm sure that's like most people. And then my other one I have here, which I really like too, of course. I wouldn't make it if I didn't like it. So this one, it's a little bit long, you know, compared to what it needs to be. So if you compare it there, like that black one is perfect. This one is not so much. So how I could remedy that, okay, is I could just take and stitch this up a little bit more and remedy the problem with that corner there, you know. And this side is just fine. This side isn't. So I can remedy that if I need to by just stitching up the collar. I don't know. If anyone else has made that pattern, and if they've had the same situation, what do we do? Well, I'm trying to follow the instructions, but you know, instructions usually are so vague that it just really makes you wonder if it is what it needs to be. I don't know. I look at instructions and I kind of use them as a guideline, but not as, I don't follow it as closely as I should. But as far as I can tell, on this piece, you know, you see the collar there, like how it sits. And even, let's see. Do you see that piece there? You see that piece there? And the way it lines up and stuff, you think that that's how it should be. Like, am I doing it wrong? But even on the pattern piece here, so right there, you see that? And you see the little edges sticking out like they should? Yeah. So there should be no reason that that's not lining up like I think it should. I don't know. It's been I guess it's been since at least 2019 since I made that pattern. So I don't know. I might have had the same issues when I first made it. I don't remember. Alright. So, what else have I made this week? Nothing. I worked on the Koda bags. I talked to Sherry last night, and that's when we discussed what date we were going to do the reveal. And, you know, we had a good conversation. And then, no, I tried to do a strap. Turned out okay. But having it twist around like that in the thing, it's not so good. I know, that's going to be a hitting post like, gotta make some noise. I have bought a couple of books well, I guess, I don't know, did I show them to you last time? I might have. Like my little like Tunisian crochet books. So I decided to buy all 3 of this Tunisian crochet series. See? And then I saw another cool little book, which is a Tunisian crochet from absolute beginner to advanced. I thought I would give that one a try too. And some of these instructions are good, and then some of them are like, it leaves something to be desired. Like in this one, it tells you some stuff, and it shows you, like, some of the stitching and stuff. You know, I don't fully understand all of that. And then I got this Tunisian crochet book and this cool little cardboard that it came in. What am I going to use the cardboard for? Oh, and then I did get some really cool, like, stuff from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, I need to stay away from that place, seriously. But I went there, and, well, Yeah, it was earlier in the week, and then I went, or was it last week? I don't know. I went to Hobby Lobby anyways, because I needed to get something. And so I went and I saw these cool little, like, rolls of, this one's a faux leather wide ribbon type thing, but it's a faux leather piece. So it's a pretty, you know, good thickness. It's this thick. And I'm using this for something, so I already have it cut. But it's a pretty good thickness, and it's pretty nice. And so I got a red one too. And I decided, well, I need to get, this is like a faux leather, well, a faux suede, fox suede. Yeah, faux suede. So I got that one, and I got a little sparkly one. And of course, I ended up getting a second one of that one. But then I have this, like, it's a cheetah faux cat hair. I probably should have picked up 2 of those. That would be pretty cool. And they had another one of these ones too. It's like a faux snakeskin leather thing. And they had one more of this one, and I think they had one more of this one at the Hobby Lobby I went to. But I chose to only, like, get one of each. I don't know. Well, and then they did have this one, and I did get 2 of this one because I loved this one. This one is absolutely beautiful. And then I'd also gotten this one. It's like a full leather gold. So yeah, but I like them. So I got them. So I have already used one roll of this, and I used it in the Koda bag. And thinking of, I'm gonna make a Koda bag out of this one, and just trying to decide what I want to use everything for. But I just thought I would show that to you. And then I'd also gone to Hobby Lobby. Well, because on Wednesday my son had his therapy, and so after his therapy we went to Hobby Lobby because I knew that they had these little tiny punchers. Had that little tiny hole. So let me show you. I can do it on this little piece because I've already used what I need to. This is just like boxing the corners of the bag. So I just kind of put it in, and see, look, that little teeny tiny hole. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. You can see that side. So these little teeny tiny holes are good for using my applique station that I got. Because last week I had picked up this punch, okay, and I used it a couple times and it works good, but look at the difference of the hole, okay. So I got a little tiny hole, and then I got a bigger hole, you know, for the little, like, applique station if I'm using my own stuff. So let me grab something. Hold on. Okay, so the little applique station, I decided I was going to try something. Alright, and this one, the holes were just a little bit bigger because I had used this one to punch out the holes, and because I didn't have this one, so I needed to get this one because the little hole ends are small. So I have this little, like, Winnie the Pooh design here, and I did this with my little applique station. See, it's a little bit off in some areas, and that's probably because the misplaced a little bit, but this isn't the kind of fabric you're supposed to be using for the applique station.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, what's up? Good.
Yes.
So yeah, I made this little thing. You can see it's a little, like a little picnic blanket, buffalo check fabric. So I thought that was cute. Trying to decide where I want to put it. I had it on my thing over there, but I'm just going to set it right there, somewhere on my machine. So I got some like sticky applique, like sticker stuff. So instead of having to iron it onto the applique, I can just stick it on, and it works really good. I really like it. Alright, so anything else? Nothing else. Nothing at all. Seriously. I don't know. Alright, well, that's enough talking for me. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Stay creative. Oh, there is one more thing I forgot to mention to you. Alright, so I am participating in the Project Dress a Girl this year. We are launching our videos next month in September. So Mari Sews is hosting the Project Dress a Girl campaign again this year. And we're getting together, and each, like, certain of us YouTubers that are participating, we're going to do a little video about it. And so if you're interested in that or need to know more information, you can always contact Maury. She can help you. And I will leave a link to her channel in the description box. Alright. So, if you would like to make a Project Dress a Girl dress, I do have labels. So let me show you my labels. A couple of months ago, I did send out some labels to some friends, but I do have more labels. So they're just these little labels, and it's like a print on the fabric thing, like a canvas fabric. Just printed it straight on the fabric, and then it has a little paper thing on the back, which I can easily send it off without the paper on it. But if you need some labels, I do have a whole bunch of labels. And these are just smaller labels, and then I have a pack of larger labels also. Because, you know, sometimes you're printing things out and things go smaller and then the other. So I have this pack of labels too. So I have a lot of labels. But yeah, but I wanted to order some, you know, when I started making them a couple months ago. And I couldn't order any labels off the website, so I just went on the computer and I printed off the labels. And I just had like a cream color cream color fabric stuff to print it off on. So I've got a bigger size label and the smaller size label. The bigger size label is just over an inch and an inch and like an inch and 3/4, I think. Yeah, like an inch and 5/8. So it's an inch and 1/4 by an inch and 5/8 this label. So it's not very big. And this other label is 3/4 of an inch by an inch and 1/4. So pretty much, yeah. But if you're interested in labels, go ahead and hit me up you can message me. You can direct message me in Instagram. And I do have my email address in my More About page on YouTube. So, if you're interested. Alright, I think that is all. So, have a wonderful day. Stay creative. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye now.